Hello everybody, my name is Thomas Church, and today I'm actually going to be talking about choosing your first martial art. I myself have tried a couple, so I've put together a list of steps that you need to take, things that you need to do, and I've also put together slides to talk about various different popular martial arts nowadays. The first thing that you need to do, or at least make sure that you do, is don't believe the media. Even though you see Bruce Lee and you know that he's legit, that doesn't mean that the fighting in the movie is real. Doesn't mean how it actually works. And one of the biggest things is no, yelling your move won't make it any stronger. This is seen a lot of times, a lot of shows. You need to make sure that you understand what you're getting yourself into. Learning martial art takes a lot of time. You need to be really patient. You need to practice every day. You need to make sure that you're dedicated to learning it. Nobody learns it in just a day. Day from me. It's taken me 9 years to even think that I know it. Another important thing is to make sure that you're open-minded. A lot of different martial arts utilize an otherworldly energy known as ki or chi, or moving chakras within ourselves, and they might have some sort of little religious practices. Nothing usually too bad, but you need to make sure that you're open to that. You also need to make sure that you decide exactly what you want to learn. If you want to learn punches, kicks, sword fighting, using a staff, using eskrima sticks, you need to make sure that you know what you want, and you need to make sure that you look for something that can provide you with the knowledge of what you want to learn. It's something that's very, very important, no matter what the martial art is to make sure that you always practice meditation. No matter what, it helps calm you down, helps you learn, helps you be a little bit more open, or at least that's what the legend goes. You want to make sure you do your research, compile pros and cons, look at fees, pricings, locations. Just make sure that you are in a good area, I suppose, and make sure that you are learning what you want to learn and what you signed up for. Because if you don't, then it's not going to be fun. Searching local is very important, I feel, because when you have a local dojo or gym, you can just go straight there. Not only do you save yourself gas and time, but you allow yourself to be able to get help at the gym, maybe talk to your instructor a few times if you can. And speaking of your instructor, you want to make sure that you ask about credentials. You want to make sure that whoever you're learning from actually has done what he says that he's done, or she has said that she's done, because anybody can lie and say, oh, I've gotten a black belt in karate, and punch you once, and you'll believe them. And you want to make sure that you're not afraid to take trial classes if they're available. Most dojos and gyms do allow that, usually a 3-day or a week program. But it definitely does pay off to see and feel what that martial art's like in person, to make sure that you're in the environment that you like. And with that, you want to make sure that you're comfortable in the attire, you want to make sure you're comfortable in the area, you want to make sure you're comfortable with the class, because if you're not comfortable, nobody's going to be comfortable, you're going to have a bad time, and you're probably just going to go home after the day and say, oh, well, that was dumb, I don't want to do it anymore. So starting off with the really popular martial arts that we have nowadays is Taekwondo. Taekwondo has been really big recently. It originated in Korea, and Taekwondo is actually very, very kick focused. You want to make sure that you have some flexibility in your legs and you're able to kick. And on the opposite end of that spectrum is karate. It's a rather old Japanese martial art, very strike focused. Lots of elbows, lots of punches, lots of jabs with the open hand. And as you can see, this guy's getting a little heated. Moving on to judo, it's also a Japanese martial art, and kind of taking away from Taekwondo and Kendo. Judo is actually based on throws and takedowns. So you want to throw a guy over your shoulder. If he's behind you, you want to make sure that you can flip him around, take him down to the ground. But that brings in a whole new level of ground combat and all that. And Kung Fu is actually one of the ones that I tried out. It's a Chinese martial art. It actually covers just about all the bases. You do strikes, you do kicks, you do holds, you do throws. and in China it's actually a lot more of a lifestyle for a lot of the people that practice it. Moving on to weapon usage, I'm sure you've all heard of fencing, but I bet a lot of you didn't know that it's actually Italian before it's French. It actually originated there. And here you're going to be using foils and sabers. As you can see in the picture, they're very thin swords. You can move very fast. Another throwing martial art is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. As you can guess, it's Brazilian, originated in Brazil, and again you have a lot of throwing, a lot of ground combat. In the picture here you see that he's putting him in a hold and he's stretching out his arm to make it so that he has complete control. And Kendo is actually the martial art that I participate in. It was formed in Japan. Here they're using what's called a shinai, which is a bamboo sword made with multiple slates of bamboo. It's just to make it so that the impact isn't as hard. It's very traditional, very competitive. A lot of what you'll see is tournaments and whatnot. Moving on is Muay Thai. It's a Thailand version of boxing. So with boxing, it's a lot of striking and grapples. Very competitive in Thailand. It's something that a lot of people do, and it is mostly made for self-defense, but you still get that competitive feel. And Krav Maga is something that's actually used by our special forces. It originated in Israel, and it's actually moves sourced from a lot of different martial arts such as Aikido, wrestling, and as it was in the list, also Judo. With all that, it makes it very, very popular, very deadly, because you have all of those options. All right, thank you everybody.